So thanks for joining us, and I'm going to pass over to Sam and Charlie. Thank you.
Great. Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Sam Cooper, and I'm here from Coventry University London. We have a London campus, which we'll share a little bit more information about. And today I'm here with my colleague Charlie to talk about really how interns can help boost businesses, especially those in startup or SME spaces. Apologies in advance for my voice. Have a little bit of a cold this week, so everyone gets to benefit from my Kathleen Turner personality today. Let's just make sure, hopefully everyone can see those slides. This is what we're going to cover today, and we just really want to start with some introductions. So as I mentioned, I'm Sam Cooper, and I'm a business development executive. Charlie. Oh, Charlie, my colleague, is having some internet issues today. Can everyone still hear me?
Hi, everyone.
Oh, there we go. Go ahead, Charlie, take it away.
Am I here?
You're here.
Okay, good. Hi, everyone. I'm Charlie. I'm also a business development executive at Coventry Uni with Sam. We've both been here for a few months now, and we're really looking forward to building bridges between the university and businesses in London. And hopefully we'll get to work with some of you in the future.
And just to kind of explain a little bit more about what that means as a business development executive at Coventry University London. So we're part of the talent team, which is how Coventry, the group, calls it, which is effectively we do employer engagement. So we're really the bridge between businesses and the university. We are based in our London campus, but we work with our colleagues across the university group to really engage with employers and make sure that employers are linked up to the university, but also that we're help bridging that gap with students as well. Speaking for myself, I'm quite passionate about helping students get experience and learn by doing, getting out of the classroom and putting it into practice. And so what we're going to talk about today is really how interns and internship programs are a really valuable asset to businesses of all sizes. We're going to talk about sort of the features and benefits of internship programs and kind of key elements of success. We are going to talk about university internship programs in general, and just to give you a sense of what's out there across all universities, not just our own, and also go into some further information and resources, and then leave it open for Q&A. So hopefully that sounds exciting to everyone. I'm going to pass it over to my colleague, Charlie. Hopefully you can see mission and vision. Are we on the same page? Amazing. Charlie.
So what is the mission and vision of Coventry University London? Well, it's really quite simple. There's no need to overcomplicate it. We are looking to connect industry and students to help our students become work-ready global graduates. And we're achieving that by building partnerships with businesses, because we appreciate that there are some things that students really can't learn in the classroom, and they do need that kind of practical on-hands experience of either 9 weeks or 6 months in a workplace getting the industry experience. So we're really seeking to kind of give them the insights into the world of work that they can't really get anywhere else, and that experience proves invaluable for when they graduate and move into full-time careers.
Great. Let's just jump right in and kind of set the scene of internship programs in general and what they are and how they can start helping you. So internships with universities and businesses are designed, the core of them are to be mutually beneficial. They should be helping a business achieve a certain goal or project or directive, and at the same time helping a student get meaningful work experience and overcome that tricky catch-22 of you need experience to get the interview. And so we're really kind of that's the sort of main piece of work that Charlie and I do is helping students overcome that. But it has to be meaningful and valuable for the business as well. And all universities sort of have that at the core of their internship programs. A note on internships, and the terminology. So we at Coventry, we say internship. It can be the same as a placement or a sandwich year. So just bear in mind, a lot of people use different terminology, but it all means the same thing. And all universities have work experience or work-based learning experience. that are accredited. So students are doing this, they're earning credit. I like to explain it as they're taking a module at the same time. It's usually alongside their studies, and the work experience, the internship, is the lab of what they're studying in the classroom. So they're getting out, they're testing things, they're figuring out what they like, what they don't like, what they're good at, what they're not good at, as part of their studies. Because it's accredited, there's legal reasons for me saying that, because it means there's no work restrictions in terms of working with students. So there's no hours restrictions. If they're international students, for example, they can work up to full time. It also means that internships can be paid or unpaid because they're doing it as part of their studies. I think the key features of internship programs that are really interesting for businesses is that in addition to your support, in addition to any supervisor that you have linked to the student or mentor, the students have ongoing support from the university. So they have key people like myself and our talent team that they can come to ask questions, get guidance, get mentorship as well. So it's an additional piece of support. It's also additional support for the employer, and it's free. All universities are offering this as a free service to businesses. You can call us up anytime to say, how can I help? How can I structure my induction? How do I approach this internship program? What kind of things can I put in place? Can you help me manage this conversation with the student? This is ongoing support that employers have from a university as part of internship programs. It's also, internships are a great starting point to getting to working with universities. We'll talk a bit later. There's lots of things that you can do with universities, and support is available for businesses. And internships are a great way to start and get a better sense of the students, the courses, the research that's going on, and the type of opportunities that are available. Harley, over to you.
As we have mentioned, we do want this to be a partnership, and it has to be mutually beneficial to both businesses and our students. And there are a variety of reasons really why businesses should be interested in interns. And we've the first of these is it lets you build a robust talent pipeline. We all know how challenging it is not only to win talent, but also to retain it. And developing it is very expensive. So if you lose it, well, you've invested a lot in an individual just to lose them. And this gives you access to market-ready talent before they're actually on the market. This keeps recruitment costs low because you have someone who is potentially going to come back to you who is already familiar with your business, knows how your organization runs, and is prepared to re-enter the organization with that head start of hiring someone completely fresh. Internships, especially with Coventry, where 90% of our students are international, really boost social and cultural diversity within an organisation. We all know how important that is in the modern working world. And diverse organisations, they have this wider variety of perspectives, allowing them to make better decisions and better test the ideas that they've had, which results in better business outcomes, giving you that competitive edge over the other people in your industry. I don't know if any of you have had the opportunity to read PwC's report on boosting social mobility in the UK, but paid internships are a proven way to do that. And 75% of the people that they've interviewed want businesses such as yourself to offer young people these opportunities. There are a wide variety of reasons for that. Social inequality is one of them. And like Sam said, there is a catch-22 if you need experience to get experience. This gives people a really good opportunity to enter the market, test out your business, see if they want to work with you, and get the opportunities to put something on their CV. So you're fulfilling a real social function here. A more practical benefit, perhaps, is the short-term staffing and project work. There are a lot of back burner projects which people might not have the resources to do, but when they have an intern or a few interns, they're capable to give them more attention, giving your business that drive forward. And we all know that short-term staffing problems, they do exist, they do happen. And having an intern for 6 months is a great, relatively non-committal way to sort these in the short term. An additional benefit of that is the leadership opportunities that your existing staff gain from that. So you are going to have people in your organization who are going to benefit from having someone who they can nurture to get them skills to be able to develop the talent themselves. And it's quite an organic way of making sure that the talent you have in your organization is developing itself without the need for too much investment. Learning and development, as we all know, really expensive to do, but an absolutely essential part of the modern working world. So if you can find ways to do that more organically, that's only going to be good for you. And the sixth benefit, which we find people don't often think about, is that our students are still at university. They're being taught by people who have the academic and the industry backgrounds to be at the cutting edge of the industries that they're in. So our students are going to be keeping you abreast of industry development and getting insights from academics as well as the industries that they're in. So they're a really useful resource to kind of gain insights that you might not necessarily have access to without them.
Ollie, did you have a question?
Yeah. Have you got any ideas on students who want to become founders?
Yes. We do, specifically at Coventry, although this happens across all universities. In our London campus, we actually have an enterprise and innovation course. So I'm actually talking to an organization now that's interested in coming in and working with those students to better help develop them into starting their own businesses and taking advantage of building their idea and then helping them implement and launch. So we do have an enterprise and innovation degree. We also have an enterprise and innovation, not to be confused, center that works specifically with organizations that want to get access to funding or build ideas, launch, etc. So we do have students specifically interested in startups across all areas, right? Not just tech, but all sorts of things.
Thanks, Sam.
Yeah, no problem. We're going to move on just to share a little bit more about what universities tend to look for when partnering with companies and businesses in the internship space. Charlie, over to you.
So it's important to mention, I think, here that we can work with an organization of any size. You don't need to be massive to have an internship. You can be a small business. But there are a few requirements which are general. So some universities might have more, some organizations might have more, but these address and an in-person element. The in-person element is a home office regulation. Our students, if they're doing a 6-month internship, they need at least 1 day for monitoring purposes to make sure that they are actually doing the internship to keep their visa valid. We do have maximum hours per course. So I think it's for 6 months, it's 20 to 40 hours that the students are required to do, or 20 to do full time, to make sure that they're getting that fully kind of immersive experience in the internship and the world that you're in. Obviously, as mentioned, regular attendance monitoring is essential. That's not universities being difficult or awkward or for our own registration purposes, but it is a visa requirement. Remuneration is an interesting one when it comes to internships, because speaking from a Coventry perspective, we do not require that you pay our students, but we would ask that you do what you can for them. So if you're requiring them to travel up and down the country, it would be helpful if you could help fund their travel. Or if they are doing a 6-month internship with you that's not paid, we would ask that they perhaps do part-time with you, because our students, part of why social mobility is so important to us is because our students aren't coming from wealthy backgrounds. They can't afford to live in London and work for free. So many of them do have part-time jobs on the side in order to fund their lifestyle. But remuneration is very much up to you. If you can afford to pay, we encourage it. If you can't, we can work something out in terms of how remuneration might work. And number 6 is adequate support, guidance, and appraisal. This is meant to be a really immersive experience for the student, and there is a lot that we expect them to be able to get out of it. It's the first step in their career, and it's a really useful tool for them to learn practically. So we would appreciate it if any opportunities that are offered to students can kind of give them time to put what they've learned in the classroom into practice and actually be meaningful work opportunities. I think that will be expected by any university which is offering this kind of service.
Yeah, and I'll just add to this, this is going back to some of the benefits of working with universities. This is where we can really help put those that support and guidance into place. Even from starting with the job description, we often help people formulate job descriptions, help with the interview process, all the way through to what the actual internship induction looks like through the internship feedback, etc. So there is quite a lot of support there that people do find helpful, especially if you're growing, if your business is growing. This is a way to get additional support for free from a university to help kind of test that growth in a certain area. Some of we have a resource available that we'll share with you about sort of the elements of a successful internship. And I'm just going to touch on some of these points now. But this is where we could go into detail when we talk to different employers and businesses about how to do this and make it tailored to you. Really important. These are kind of our top 5 tips, but the first one is support and structure from the very start. So students often, especially the students we work with who are heavily international or maybe first in their family to go to university and they're taking their first step in their career, it's really important to have a clear induction. And that it doesn't have to be, you don't have to overthink it, but it would include being really clear about your expectations, meetings that you have, regular meetings and check-ins, introducing them to coworkers, being very clear about your mission and vision, your working processes, policies, etc. It sounds simple, but it is quite powerful for a student to be able to come in and really understand, okay, this is who I'm working with, this is who I go to for help, these are other people I'm working with, this is how I'm going to navigate this experience. Also having that opportunity to sit down and really hear from the student what their professional goals and objectives are so that you can kind of ensure that you're meeting those through the experience. Again, these are simple but quite powerful, clearly defined, meaningful work. Students want to be productive. They want to learn. There's no such thing anymore of these internships where people are photocopying and doing tea. Those don't really exist anymore. And as you're probably aware, everyone kind of want to get stuck in. And so it is important to have clearly defined assignments and projects. We recommend having both short-term and long-term assignments to give students a chance to see some short-term gains, also maybe have some autonomy over other projects that they can kind of make mistakes on, find their way, take responsibility over, and learn from that. Really, really key, mentorship and feedback. It's really important if you're going to have an intern that you're dedicating that time to really set the stage for them and offer that mentorship and feedback. Supervision is vital. There should be a dedicated person they can go to. There should be regular unscheduled checkups, check-ins or catch-ups, to allow for that balance of autonomy for a student, but also the direction and their opportunity to say, I'm working on this. This is how I'm approaching it. What do you think? Am I going in the right or wrong direction? And remember, students can't always articulate it that way. So giving them the space, asking them for feedback is really powerful as well. Mentorship can also look like a budding them up with someone else in the organization or other people that you work with so that they have that support. Of course, students are coming for education and career exploration. So think as well about, can they sit in on any meetings, even if they're just taking notes or listening? Can you bring them to events? Are there other people that you could just introduce them to during their time with you so they can chat with, even if it's outside of your organization, for them to learn from and grow from? Again, it is the building block of their career. So what do you wish that you'd had when you got started? That's kind of how we tend to approach it. We do have a resource, we're going to share this later, that goes into more detail around this. This is sort of the bigger picture. So we just covered internships as that good starting point for working with universities. But there's actually, as I mentioned, vast opportunities offered by universities. It can be overwhelming, and we understand that. As I mentioned, Charlie and I are really the bridge between businesses and university. And so there's lots at Coventry, for example, and other universities that you have access to. We don't know all of these things intimately, but we can always connect you to the right people. And so I'm just going to go through some of the things that businesses can sort of take advantage of from a university perspective. We talked about work experience. We talked about internships. There's also consulting projects. So for example, if you wanted to come up with test an idea, look into some market research, our main Coventry campus has students work on consulting projects. You'd give us a brief, and the students work either individually or in groups in order to come up with a report and do some sort of background for you. We have talent mentoring, kind of connected to what Charlie was mentioning earlier. If you have people in your teams that you want to help kind of progress in their career, being a mentor to students is a really powerful way for that learning and development. Of course, there's talent pipelines and staffing solutions. All universities can help you with that. We can help connect you to graduates. We also have, Coventry specifically has a recruitment arm called FutureWorks, where all of the sort of like a regular recruitment agency, but all the profits get reinvested back into education. Of course, there's research and innovation. So staying close to knowledge centers for businesses is really important. We do have research arms, and businesses are really great at implementing research, and we're great at helping get access to that research, get access to funding, as I mentioned. We have training and upskilling for businesses as they grow. So we offer CPD, a lot of universities do, and of course, apprenticeships. So as your business grows, universities can help you take advantage of the apprenticeship levy. I think just to make it a little bit more practical, what do some of these things mean? I kind of mentioned an example of an organization I'm talking to now, but you know, if we have research centers that we're working on, and if those businesses wanted to take advantage of that research, get involved, access the funding through that, and help kind of put ideas into industry, those are some of the things that we can do. Here are, again, just to make it a little bit more concrete, here's some of the briefs that employers have come to us for, to say, we really need this, can you help us? So for example, that very top one, an HR department was really looking to do a morale and job satisfaction kind of report within the organization. They wanted to research what's out there and improvements on their current process. So they brought in students to do a consulting project. Some of these can be internships. You know, you want to organize and manage new events and an increase system and maximize revenue. Bringing in an intern to help move that project forward is something you could do. I know sometimes there's so many options, it's good to have examples. So these are just some of the key examples. In terms of further information, we might be sharing, sorry, this slide deck, Ollie. Obviously, we're happy to share this, but we have an employer resource page. It's brand new, we're always growing it. So please feel free to visit this. We give things like template job descriptions, an overview of our own internship program, those elements of what a successful internship looks like, and of course, ways to connect with us. We're always happy to also connect. Oh, sorry. I'm just going through so quickly. In terms of next steps, we're happy to connect with you. These are our details, and this is where you can find how to connect with us, and happy to set up meetings and talk more about what it is specifically you're trying to do, how we might be able to help you, and connect you to the right people if it's not through us in our internship program. We have a really interesting upcoming event. We're partnering with a law firm to talk about how to work and hire international talent, so unlocking global talent. This is very near and dear to my heart. I've always worked with international students. I truly believe, and the research shows that a diverse workforce does help businesses grow specifically. And so we understand that the visa landscape can be a bit confusing. So this is a free webinar we're hosting with a law firm called Pennington's Manches. If you're interested in attending, let me know and we can send you the details on how to register. It's the 6th of November at 1 p.m. Oh. any questions.
Thank you very much, Sam and Charlie. That was tremendous. Any questions from the floor at all? I have a question. Have you got any? Sorry, Stacey. Have you got any case studies where students have gone on to develop, particular case studies in particular companies or sectors where interns have gone in and it's turned into a success story?
Yeah, it's actually something that we're working on developing to put out on our website and in the interwebs. What comes to mind right away is actually a company we work with called Clue. They're actually a recruitment platform. They are a small business, and they took on one of our interns in marketing, and it's gone really, really well. Just from that internship experience, they've gone on to hire that student. It's an international student. In fact, if you check out my LinkedIn, she just did some marketing copy to highlight our partnership with Clue and what we're doing in terms of inclusive practices for our students and hiring practices. So that just went out this week. But Clue ended up hiring her. She's on a graduate route visa and as an international student. And so that worked out really successful for them and is helping kind of improve their reach.
Oh, thanks, Sam. Stacey.
Yeah.
I love what you're doing. I come from a long corporate background and we did a lot, everything from inner city youth all the way up to master's program graduate students.
Yep.
And I've spent years mentoring. So I love this. My couple of questions are a couple of confirmation questions and then more about the process.
Yeah.
First, it's a 6 month round. Is that what I heard?
Yeah, so for Coventry University London specifically, we have 9-week internships and 6-month internships. Our 6-month internships are all with our postgraduate students. And the 9-week is actually open to all of our degree courses in London. So we're an international business school in London, and we cover accounting, finance, econ, management and HR, project management, global health management, and then marketing, fashion, hospitality, and tourism. Did I miss anything, Charlie? I think I hit.
No, you absolutely nailed it.
So then, did I hear that is it 20 hours a minimum a week, whether it's 6 weeks or 9 months?
Yeah, that's a great question. For Coventry London, the minimum is actually 24 hours per week. So 3 days a week is what we're looking for. And the maximum is 40. I don't know why we say maximum. I think that's a normal assumption, but as in we don't want students working too much.
Completely get it. You can certainly get a lot done in 24 hours a week. So
yes, you can.
And then my next question, I'm glad that you touched on more of the areas of I don't want to call it expertise, if you will, but that's kind of what it is. From the matching process.
Yeah.
How does that work between the student and the business?
Yeah, Charlie, you happy for me to take that? I'm aware I've not.
Course, yeah,
okay, cool. Please jump in, Charlie. I can talk too much. Can you guys tell? So Charlie's got to fight for. It really depends on you and your needs, and that is not to avoid the question. I truly mean it. So what we would do is we'd have a call to understand your business, your size, what you're looking for, and the matching. I feel really strongly about this. The matching has to start with that job description and being really clear and honest with yourself what it is that you're looking to achieve, and making sure it's very clear in the job description, the type of student, the expectation that you have, and the type of work that's available. We use a platform called Handshake, which is an online, it's like LinkedIn, but for universities and employers. What's nice about Handshake is any university in the UK that is on it, employers have access to, so you can kind of broaden your reach as well. You would post your job on Handshake, and then we work to make sure that our particular students that are a good fit are seeing those roles. We can also help with shortlisting if that's something that you want us to do. What's nice about Handshake is through Handshake, it's free. You can post your job, all the applications can come in there, you can make decisions, you can view all the materials. So it's also kind of a free recruitment tool for yourself. It's new to the UK, so they're still working on things, which is kind of nice because we're feeding back to them the types of stuff we want to see and what we're hearing from employers of what they want to do. You can organize interviews through that. You can do feedback through that. There's lots. What I'm seeing from employers is mainly using it to post jobs. And then we could talk about how we'd want to maybe help you shortlist and interview the right candidates.
Thanks, Stacey.
Can I just add for our internship programs in general with universities, there's never, ever, ever an obligation to hire a student. So it is really important, you know, in that process, if you do a round and you feel like you're not getting the right candidates or the applications are poor, etc., that is an immediate feedback loop to our students. We meet with them. We do give them feedback on their applications to help them improve.